Guys, I've been, no joke, walking around my house for the last hours before filming with these things on, forgetting that it's something for shadow and not an eye mask. So this whole time I'm just thinking to myself, look at all the benefits I'm doing to my skin. Yeah, just kidding, just some form of tape. Hello everyone, I'm here today to share with you guys a video that I was talking to you guys about in the community tab, and I feel like I say that in a lot of my videos. So I think her name is Erin. Yeah, it's Erin. So Erin messaged me on Instagram and she asked me if I would do a video asking you guys what is on your makeup wish list. So like makeup items that maybe you don't want to splurge on, or you're saving for birthday presents or Christmas presents, or just like something that is just fun, extra, and you want to put it on your wish list, but you don't know if it's like good enough to be on that list, you know? Like it's gotta be real good stuff. So you guys sent in a whole bunch of suggestions, and then I went out and bought a whole bunch that I haven't tested out, and we're gonna see if it's worthy of that coveted spot on your wish list. And as with all of my first impressions, I will do a full day wear test for you guys, and we'll see what it's looking like at the end of the day, see what I end up recommending for you guys, and we'll see if it's any good. I mean, let's hope it's all really good. I mean, you clearly put it on your wish list, so there must be something that you heard that was good about it. And let me know if you want me to do another one of these like closer to Christmas time, and I'll do like an updated one, because this will be really good, I think, because the Sephora VIB sale is coming up, and so you can get 20% off, or 15 or 10 depending on what like level of Sephora you are. But if you want me to do an updated one in December, let me know in the comments and give this video a thumbs up so I know that is something you guys are interested in, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on new videos every Thursday and also on Sunday. And without further ado, let's get into this. So I'm gonna start with some eyeshadows, and man, you guys had a lot of eyeshadows on your wish list. So originally my plan was just to pick out the most popular palette, and so the one that you guys wanted to see the most was the Sultry Palette by ABH, but then this other palette just came in the mail, and because I didn't hear about this palette until after I had asked you guys what was on your wish list, I decided to include it in the off chance that it is on your wish list, and also because I'm curious about it. It is the new Nude palette by Huda Beauty, and I'm mostly just really curious about these kind of like granite shadows here. I want to know what that's about. So I think we're just going to play around with both the palettes today. And I'm going to start with the Huda Beauty palette because they have a concealer in here that you're supposed to use as sort of a base for the eyeshadows. So, you know, it's in here. I'm just sort of sticking my finger in it. It is very light, like not a lot is coming off, which I guess is a good thing. You don't want like a ton of product on your lids before you put on eyeshadow. Oh, what's that? Is that mascara from yesterday? Oh, come on, Rachel. Oh, and lash glue. Cool. Okay, I literally feel like I'm not doing anything at all in applying this. Like, at all. And now let's go into the Sultry palette, which is probably one of the first more cool-toned, neutrally palette that I've seen in a while. Like, it's been so long since I've seen shades like these that I don't even know how to use this. Like, I honestly think they just threw in this peach shade so we wouldn't run away terrified. What is this? Warm neutrals? Oh wait, there's a pink in here. Okay, I feel okay now. So I think I'm gonna start with Birch, which is this kind of weird greeny yellow transition shade, and I'm very curious about what this looks like on the lids. Woo! Keep forgetting that ABH palettes are very sensitive to brushes. Dusty. Oh, you know what? I kind of like that shade. Like, it's smoothing onto the lids very nicely. It's a nice like transition shade. It's there, but it's really light. Oh, I forgot. I also have these dual-ended brushes from Huda Beauty, one of which has like a silicone and one of those sponge tip applicators on the end. So I had to sit and like watch one of her videos to make sure I understand how everything should be used. But I want to test these out as well. So pretend that I didn't use the other brush. And I'm gonna go in with the fluffy side of the Build and Blend brush. Or no, maybe not. Maybe I'll go in with the smaller side and I'll use this to kind of blend it out. We'll just throw this into the crease. There's always this one spot on my lid that just hates shadow. Just hates it. And I always have to tilt my head to like different angles to make sure that I get shadow in there. Terrible. The brush is really, really soft though. Like, it's applying everything really well. It's actually a really nice size for a crease brush. It's applying everything really smoothly, and it's not too large that it's just too much on your eye. But it'll like apply enough product that it's not too precise. Okay, and now we're gonna try the bigger side for blending everything out. Because of the shape, it's sort of like a tapered shape. I feel like the best way to do this would just be to like back and forth motion. I feel like doing like a big swirly motion isn't gonna do anything. All right, that looks good so far. Let's go on to another color. Let's go to the Huda Beauty palette, and I'm gonna go into some of these mauve shades down here. See what that looks like. I wonder which one of these palettes I'm gonna like better. Does anyone have any guesses? This is a gorgeous mauve tone. I really like that shade. By the way, the shade I'm using right now is Tease. This shade, you can't see it, there we go. This one right here. And I'm gonna take a little bit of a Love Bite right here, and I'm gonna put that on top, more onto the like inner part of the crease. And then I'm gonna take Dystopian, which is this really dark matte brown, and I'm going to use the smaller brush, well, hold on, smaller brush, and I'm going to put that into the crease, like right into the outer corner. So far, I have to say that I really like the brushes, actually. I know that's not the point of this video, but I do like them. In terms of the shadows, so far all of the mattes are very, very pigmented. They seem to be blending, but what I'm trying to decide, like, it's looking a little bit patchy over here. I'm trying to decide if that was me or that's the shadows, or maybe a little bit of both. I don't know. I think you just have to be really careful with like how much of these shadows that you apply, because they are very, very creamy, very blendable. And if you apply too much, it's gonna get messy real quick. Now let's swatch some of these shimmer shades in both palettes and just kind of see what we're working with here. So I'm gonna start with ABH, and I'm gonna swatch Rose Quartz and Pearl. Beautiful. Very metallic, very shiny. And then let's test out some of these more I keep calling them granite shades, which I don't think is what they're called, but whatever. So I'm gonna swatch Crave and Daydream here. Woo! Those almost feel wet. Wowza. And swatch those. Also really pretty, almost more metallic than ABH if you look really, really closely. Like just a hair. Like both are really pretty, but like I gotta say, like just from a swatch perspective, I like the Huda ones better. Especially this Crave shade. Dang. This one's real pretty. That one right there. I like that. So let's use this Fender blender that she was talking about and use the silicone end right here, because she was saying in her video that you can use it to like press the product into like the inner corner. It can be used for any of the like mattes or shimmers or glitters or whatever you want, but like it's very small for that purpose. So I'm gonna try and dip some Crave on it and put that in the inner corner here. I don't know, it's not like applying it the way I was expecting it to. So I'm gonna try the other end, the foam end. Okay, that's a little better. It's not as kapow as I thought it would be on the eyes though. Is that just me? Genuinely thought that'd be like super explosive on the eyes. I don't know. Not like wowed by it. Oh, much better using your fingers though. That is like 1,000 times better. Let's try picking up some of Pearl from the ABH palette, which is their like lightest shade, and use some of that on the eyes. Like concentrating it on the inner corner. That's a pretty color. I do like that. By the way, I used the other side of the foam applicator in case anyone is wondering. Didn't mix them. Oh, I bet that looks really good underneath the brow. Oh, why am I using a foam tip applicator? That's dumb. That was too heavy. Oh, look at that. That's the ABH Pearl shade. Oh, dang. You know what shadow I overlooked and I'm mad about it? Cyborg in the ABH palette. I was like, silver, no thanks. But it's not. It's like a purpley, like, it's more silver. Yes, it's definitely more on the cool tone side, but it has this like silvery beige lilac tone to it. Oh, that's nice. Did not expect that. I'm gonna take a little bit of Teak from the ABH palette and I'm going to apply that to the outer edge of the lid. Again, this is just more experimenting and just seeing what the product is like and how it's applying. I feel like this isn't going to be super cohesive, but I guess it's all neutral. Eventually it'll work. I really like that ABH is kind of modernizing the more cool tone palette, because honestly, when I think of cool tone, I think of like 6, 7, 10 years ago and like a smoky eye palette that's like gray, white, and black. So anytime I think of cool tone, I think of that, and that's not this at all. This is a very modern version of a cool tone. Let's put a little bit of Daydream, which is again one of those granite shades from Huda Beauty. Let's put that in the center of the lid. Ooh, that is pretty. Don't like applying it with a brush, even the one that's like supposed to like replace using your fingers. I don't like it as much. But using your fingers, it works really well. But it's definitely more of a, like a textured kind of a sheen to the eyes, which I kind of like. It just gives another dimension, looks a little bit like different and cool to wash off my hands. I have like shimmer all over them. Okay, I think I definitely have to like intensify the crease a little bit, so I'm gonna do that. But first, I just noticed this, but the two glitter shades that the Huda Beauty palette has, they're both very similar. They're both this sort of like a burgundy tone, and I just want to swatch them because I'm kind of curious as to why she chose two glitters, 2 out of 2, that are just so similar. Again, this is like pressed glitter. And I don't know, like one's a little darker and one's a little lighter. I don't know. To me, I wouldn't have personally made that decision to have them to be so like close in tone. And again, there is some difference. One is more maroon, one is more pink. Like, I get it, but they're just, I don't know. I would have branched out a little bit. Now I'm using a mixture of Love Bite and Raw from the Huda Beauty palette. Putting that into the crease more towards the center and the middle, just because it's a little bit lighter. That's another thing, by the way. These are much lighter shades for Huda. I feel like she uses a lot more dark shades in other palettes, but this one, like, Love Bite is basically the darkest shade that you get. And now I'm just going in with the Dystopian shade again from ABH and just kind of deepening up that outer crease. I'm just using the brush that the ABH palette came with, and I'm dipping it into Play, which is this peachy tone, and I'm just going over the outer kind of edge and kind of sweeping over it to smooth it out. And again, using that same pearl shade from ABH and just going over right under the brow bone again. And now I'm pretty happy with how that's looking right now. I obviously need to like kind of blend some things out once I put on like concealer and stuff like that. But now I want to go on to mascara. And one thing that you guys had been asking about, and I got a lot of thumbs up for this particular comment, was around trying a little bit more from the Shiseido brand. And actually my eyelash curler that I have been using for years is by Shiseido, and I'm obsessed with it. It is hands down the best, I'm not joking, eyelash curler you will ever use in your entire life. So I love that from Shiseido, but I don't try a lot of products from them. So I thought this would be kind of a fun opportunity to test something out. So this is their Imperial Lash Mascara Ink. And it's supposed to visibly build and define lashes. So I thought this would be kind of fun to play around with because I love the eyelash curler so much. Maybe I'll also like the mascara. This curler though gets like right up against the lash line and just like curls the lashes up. It's awesome. If you have really straight lashes or lashes that refuse to curl, get this one. It will change everything. So the bristles seem to be those silicone, really small spidery bristles, and it has bristles at the end, like the rounded tip as well, for kind of like maybe the bottom lashes or like getting into those little tiny lashes near the center of the eye. So let's see what this looks like. So that's one coat. I mean, it's not like super exciting or anything. The formula is really smooth though. Like it's not thick, but it's not watery thin either. Like it's a nice consistency. Let's do 2 coats here. Let's see what we're working with. The only problem with it being so smooth is that it is getting all over my lids. Oh, and also it's like fine in terms of what my lashes look like, but it's nothing like super exciting. Plus now I have to clean off all the mascara on my lid. Cool. But don't worry, I still got another Shiseido product that I'm going to test out in a little bit. Alright, now I'm just going to prime my skin here. This is the Farsali Skin Tune. And now we're going to get into the foundation. And this was like the #1 most requested product to test out. And that is the new ColourPop Stick Foundation. Y'all really wanted to know what was up with these guys. And so I have 2 shades here. I have 50W and 40N. This is supposed to have medium buildable coverage, blur pore. It's going to cover blemishes, blend effortlessly. It's never going to be cakey or drying. And then it's super portable because it's like a stick foundation. All right, got it. So it says to streak it onto the skin like so. And then you can blend it out with like a kabuki brush or a sponge or basically like whatever you want. This feels a little bit on the yellow side. I'm gonna mix it in with 40N. This was 50W, by the way. Wow, I have a lot of foundation on my face right now. So I'm gonna try it 2 ways. One with a stippling brush, which they recommended, obviously, because they make them. And then I'm gonna try it with the sponge on the other side. Oh, I should have put my hair back. Whoops. Oh, dang. That is, that's coverage. So far, I like this one a lot more than the liquid foundation. It's like just blending out a lot better than that one. On me anyway. That's like super smooth, right? Let's try it with the sponge on the other side. Honestly, both sides look good. I would say that if you want to utilize more like full coverageness, then use the kabuki brush, but they are both blending out really nicely. Okay. Okay. I like this a lot better than their original. Yeah. No, my skin looks like real good right now. Okay, now that I have concealer on, I have set everything with powder. I'm gonna go in and use this brush right here for kind of smoking out the bottom, because Huda mentioned in the video where she was talking about these brushes that this was the best for underneath the eyes and created that really soft, subtle, smoky look. So we'll go put that to the test. I wanna know if that's true. So I'm going to take the shade Teddy. If I can move all my stuff out of the way. This shade right down here, and I'm gonna start with that shade, and I'm just going to apply it under the eye. I can't say it enough, guys. These brushes are real soft. So if you want like a pretty strong under eye smoke, like it's gonna give that to you. Like I personally like it, but I know that's not for everyone. So like just keep that in mind. It's pretty strong. And then I'm gonna take the thinner end of the brush and I'm gonna go back into the ABH palette. And I think I'm going to use a little bit of, let's go in because we have the dark shade on here already. I'm going to go in with Dystopian again. And I'm just going to make that outer corner a little darker, like right up against the lash line. And I have a spot right here where my eye like dips in a little bit. So if I just go straight across, it looks like this part is a little bit lighter. So I tend to concentrate a little bit of extra shadow right in that part to kind of balance that, and then just trying to blend it all out with the heavier side of that brush. By the way, what is this brush called? Smoke and Smudge. Cute. I'm not a fan of this mascara. It's just not that exciting at all. So much. But let's move on to this palette from Hourglass. This is their Ambient Lighting Edit Unlocked palette. And a lot of you guys wanted to know what was up with this, if it was any good. You guys know I love a lot of Hourglass products and powders. I don't use a lot of their like palettes though. So inside here we have 2 finishing powders right here, a bronzer, 2 blushes, and then one of their metallic highlights. If you guys know, if you've been watching my videos for a while, I love their metallic highlights. I have a trio by them. I swear by it. It's one of my favorite highlights of all time. So I'm excited to know what is up with this one, if it is similar at all to the other formula and all that stuff. But let's start with the finishing powders first. I don't know why I swatched them. Like, y'all aren't going to be able to see that. I'm going to take a little fluffy brush and I'm going to take the lighter of the shades, shade number 1. And I'm just going to dust some underneath the eyes a little bit, just on top of the cheekbones. So just a really nice, like a blurring powder. You're not going to notice a lot of difference unless you have like fine lines or anything that you want to cover up, like enlarged pores or anything like that. At least I don't think so. It's very subtle, very soft. So if you're expecting like a big outcome, you're going to be disappointed. It's a finishing powder, so it's going to like just smooth everything out and just give that like extra touch, you know? Now we're going to go on to bronzer, and I was going to use my big fluffy brush, but these are pretty small. That is not going to work super well. No. This also looks like a pretty like shimmery bronze. Yeah, that's going to give you like a glow bronze. If you're looking for matte, don't buy this. I personally like myself a nice shimmery bronze shade. Versus a matte. I feel like mattes can look really harsh on my skin, whereas this just gives like more of a glowy effect. It is really hard to get a brush into that itty bitty little bronzer though. That's a little bit annoying, but the color's nice. It blends nice. I like the formula of the Hourglass bronzers, so I'm not that surprised, but like it's good to know that they're consistent. Y'all seem to think that I use Hourglass a lot, and like I do, but it's good. No, they're not paying me. No, they did not send this to me. I bought this with my own money. I'm gonna go for more of the corally toned one. This one right here. No, I don't know why I did that. Everything that I'm wearing right now is more cool tone. Berry shade. Very pretty. I like it. Now let's go on to this highlight shade. Now I find for these highlights that they don't always swatch as well as they apply to the face. So let's try this out. That is the shade right there. Very pretty. I like how like neutral ivory, slightly hinting warm it is. Oh, I hope that's picking up on camera. Oh, that's so beautiful. I really like how soft and, again, neutral it is. That's the one thing that I don't like about their trio, is that one is pink, one is yellow, and one is brown. So like I had to blend them all together to get a shade that I like. But this one kind of fits that bill nicely. So just like pull a little bit down here on the collarbone, because why not? No one said, you know what I don't want today? Poppin' collarbone. Okay, now onto the lips. And again, like I said before, back into Shiseido. This is their Visionary Gel Lipstick. And I got the shade that was the most popular on the reviews on the Sephora page. And that is in Ginza Red, I think is how it's pronounced. And this is supposed to be like Ferrari red. Oh, it's in like a... It's a weird way of packaging a product. What an unnecessary use of plastic. But anyway, everyone was obsessed with how red this is, how vibrant and over the top and glam and like the perfect red. Everyone was obsessed with this. So I was like, well, obviously I have to get that color. But this is supposed to feel very weightless, hence the gel kind of scenario going on. It's bold, semi-satin, and it's supposed to be long lasting too. So let's see what the deal is with this. Oh, wow. I know I just literally just applied it, but it is like silk. Like I barely touched my lips there. Like that is so pigmented, guys. I cannot tell you how lightly I am touching my lips right now. It has none of that like waxiness of like a normal lipstick. Oh man, Shiseido, where have you been hiding this? My goodness, this formula is so smooth, guys. Like I don't know how many more ways I can say it. It feels really nice. We'll see what it looks like by the end of the day on my lips and just see how long wearing it is. But as it stands right now, I really like how it applies. The only thing I will say is that I would probably apply a lip liner first for a darker color like this, because this is such a slippery, just pigmented kind of a formula. If you do like one small step at all, like with a regular lipstick, the wax formula, it just kind of like, it's fine. So that would be like my only thing, is I would kind of line it first. But other than that, it looks and feels really great. So now I'm going to go about the rest of my day. I'm going to see how everything is wearing, and then I will check in with you guys tonight and we will see if it still looks like this, because that would be great. That is all I asked for in makeup. I want it to look the same when I apply it as it does at the end of the day. I feel like this isn't a lot to ask. I mean, it's a lot to ask, but still. Okay, so I'll be back in a bit. Okay guys, so it is near the end of the day. I'm about to go and sit down to dinner, but I have people over, so I just wanted to give you guys an update on the lip. So it's still there. It's almost like created this little bit of like a stain to the lips, which is really nice. The one thing I will say though is that it shows up on everything. It's long lasting, but it's not transfer proof, so just keep that in mind. I still like it, and I think if you're willing to do some touch-ups throughout the day, I think it's held up really well. I didn't notice it on my teeth. It's not like smearing around my face or anything, but it does need some touch-ups. So I'm gonna take that off now, and then I will do the final update at the very end of the day. But so far, spoiler alert, everything's looking really good. Okay guys, so it is now the end of the day, and I know I'm in the exact same spot that I was before. Probably not looking as good, maybe a little bit tired because it is like midnight. But this is what the makeup is looking like. The eye makeup is not looking great, especially on this side. I just really messed up on that blending. I feel like they're pigmented, but there's a lot to them, and they take a little bit of extra work to get everything to like smooth out. I think if I had to choose one, I think that I like the ABH one better. I don't like the concealer in the Huda Beauty. I think that if she just did like a regular primer on its own, that'd be better, and use that space for a shadow. Love the idea of the little granite shadows. Those are really cute. Just didn't pop as much as I was like hoping on the lid. And the foundation is nice. Like my skin looks nice, and it's held up really well all day, so I will be absolutely using that one again. The mascara is just awful. Just did not work for me. It was like running underneath my eyes. I had like spots underneath here, and it just like didn't do anything for me. So I don't know. Have you guys tried any of these products before? Are you gonna have them on your wish list? Is there anything else on your wish list?
let me know. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. If you want me to do more of these, let me know. Maybe for like Christmas time, December time, you know? I hope you guys are having an awesome, awesome weekend, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Love you all. Mwah.